when it comes to this issue, tax reform, and specifically how it impacts pass-through entities, what's one word of caution or one word of advocacy? What would you advocate for if you had a moment or two in front of the Supercommittee? Let's start with Mr. Kapp and then quickly work our way down.
I would say lower taxes and also certainty. There's a lot of things that we aren't doing because we're not sure what the tax code is going to be. I mean, just lower taxes and put some certainty in it so we know what we have to do and where we have to go.
Mr. Smith.
Well, as I stated in my testimony, I agree with Mr. Kapp here. The problem we have is uncertainty. We would like for years and years of consistency. We can compete with anybody in the world if we know where things are going to be. But because of the state of flux that our tax code has been in for years, it creates a very big disincentives for companies like ours.
As I said in my testimony, also is the same thing as the uncertainty, not being able to plan, not knowing what's going to happen. You're doing one thing one year, one thing the next year. Frankly, I'm a national sales tax. My personal opinion is, it's fair and it's even, and it allows the capital to stay within the companies.
Mr. Carroll, conclude. What's one specific tax reform you might advocate for when it comes to these pass-through entities?
I think I would have some difficulty advocating a specific reform. I would think that one would want to take a very broad view, and in addition to the certainty, also a stable tax system that won't change that's going to provide some certainty over a period of time. One of the things that did happen in the '86 Act is the tax system changed fairly quickly several years after the '86 Act. It, in a sense, unraveled, and in some important respects, the tax base, even though the '86 Tax Reform Act lowered rates and broadened the base, the tax base was narrowed and tax rates went back up. The other thing I would think that they should carefully consider is trying to avoid unintended consequences. There are a lot of interrelationships in the tax system as well as the economy, and trying to avoid unintended consequences, and I think that would be a very useful objective.